Hey everyone, welcome to AvidMax Tying Tuesdays. My name's Brady Laehr, and today we're tying the Craven Charlie Boy Hopper. An awesome little hopper pattern by Colorado's Charlie Craven. This is a must in anybody's summertime fly box. I've had a lot of fish on this fly. It holds up great throughout the day. It's very buoyant. Just a lot of fun to fish overall. So we're going to start with our thread. I have my Danville's tan thread here, and I'm going to work on back to where we're going to start our foam. Using the 2mm foam today in tan, and I cut myself a nice little strip off that's about the same size as that hook gape, and that's our good starting point for this pattern. First thing we're going to do is go ahead and thread on this piece of foam, and so we're going to poke it on in right in the middle. Take it out of our vise, work it up and around so that it's fixed out of the way, just like so. And then you can kind of turn it so that that piece is facing rearward. That's going to end up being our tail. So inevitably that's kind of what we're going for there with this first step. From there, we got to figure out where our head's going to be. And so you look at that hook eye, that's where you want to kind of puncture through. So I'm going to take my bodkin and go ahead and kind of mark that point and create a nice hole to go through. I got glue on there so it's not as sharp as it should be. But that'll work. We're just going to go right on through that hook eye, and we're going to fold this material back on over itself. So it doubles up the foam, covers the body entirely, and we're going to glue this down with some Zap-A-Gap. So I like to put quite a bit on here to secure it on both sides. Hopefully I have enough today on that hook shank there and on the rear end, and then we're going to pinch that in place. It doesn't take too long with this Zap-A-Gap. It's a great quick dry glue. And just pairing it up as nicely as you can there. From there, we're going to clip the tail, and so for the tail, I'm going to get some longer scissors here, nice hair scissors with the long blade. You can kind of push out the tail, and we're going to clip it straight back and sort of create a taper to that tail that comes upward for the back of that fly, for the back of this hopper. Once your glue's dried, you can start doing your segmentation. So we're going to do a few wraps here and cinch them nice and tight, creating that segmentation for this fly. And we'll do a couple, and then we'll work forward, and we'll do about 3 segments on this little hopper. Just like so. Sneak on up, and we'll do one more to create the head. Pretty simple fly to tie overall. Great, easy design. Makes a nice underbody that looks super fishy. I am gonna see how my foam's not quite aligned. I'm gonna trim that out and just kind of refine it slightly, something you can play with when you're tying these. Our next step's gonna be our legs. Got the round rubber legs. These are the barred ones. Kind of creates a nice look. And we're gonna secure these on either side. So we'll go ahead and grab those on that side. And we can clip them to length real quick. Do the same on this side. Just a couple of quick wraps, locking those in place. And we can clip them to length on this side as well. You can always pull them upward if you want them to be nice and even, and clip them out up top. And that'll give you some nice even legs there. Next step I like to add, this is something that I don't think Charlie does, but I think it just adds kind of a nice little attribute to this pattern. I have some web wing, and I went ahead and clipped out, I used Chernobyl body cutters to get a nice oval body here. And I'm gonna use that just kind of as an underwing for this fly. So you kind of lay it on top, measure out where you want it, and I'm gonna try and do it about the same length that I do for the coming elk hair. And we'll just secure that in place right on top of this fly. And it creates a nice underwing. Last step to this fly is our nice buoyant elk hair wing. We'll clip some elk hair off of our hide. And we can pull out all of that under fur out of this elk hair. Get it nice and cleaned up. Have those stiff fibers to work with to tie on in here. Like I said, love this pattern in summertime. It ends up on my rig very often. I like the tan foam, the bleached elk hair, the buoyancy of it. It's a great topwater fly. If you're doing some hopper dropper rigs, this will hold up some of your heavier dropper flies, any emerger you can think of, and it floats all day long. Not too much curing necessary with this pattern thanks to the closed cell foam and the super buoyant elk hair that we're working on here now. So I got a pretty healthy wing picked out, and we're just gonna kind of measure that right on top. And this is gonna be traditional or similar to a traditional elk hair tie-in. Some of that under fur that I missed out of the way. So once again, measure that out to where we want it. And then we're gonna go ahead and clip it before we tie it in, and that'll help it really flare out for us. So we'll put it right on top, do 1 wrap and 2 wraps to keep it where it's laying. Check out where we're at. That looks pretty good, so we can give it a nice tight cinch down, get that to all flare out real nicely for us. And then all we have to do, pull out some of these rope fibers here. Do 3 turns on that, snug it down, and we can clip out that excess material. Pretty simple, pretty quick. We'll glue our thread wraps underneath just to keep it nice and secure. That's all there is to this Charlie Boy hopper variation. Another great pattern from Umpqua's signature tire, Charlie Craven. When he does come back in and he'll dot some eyes on either side of the foam, I tend to let it fly sort of raw, just like it is. And the fish don't mind. Give it a try.